Welcome to the spoken tutorial on Drupal People Management. In this tutorial, we will learn about people management and setting up specific task-based roles. To record this tutorial, I am using Ubuntu Linux operating system, Drupal 8 and Firefox web browser. You can use any web browser as per your choice. Let's learn about people management. I have switched back to the Zircon theme and we will keep this theme for the rest of this tutorial. People management is really very important. It's actually very complicated to get right. We have to do it just once but correctly. Let's click on people. People in Drupal are given roles that have permissions. Through the permission structure, Drupal allows us to control what people can see and what people can do. Now it's important to remember a few things here. Remember that you are user number 1. That is the super user. Nobody can change your permissions. There is a user below that's called administrator. Administrators are generally given permissions to manage the entire site. But still they are not as high as user number 1. Authenticated users are logged in people who have certain rights. Lastly, anonymous users are visitors who are not logged in. Usually, anonymous users can just view the content that's not protected and do nothing else. Another important thing to remember is to set up roles that are specific to the task on the site. Suppose we have a summer intern who is only allowed to update events, not articles or pages or user groups. This summer intern needs to have his or her own role so that you can manage the permissions. We will set that up shortly. For now, let's click on Permissions tab. Scroll down slowly and see what's available. The list gets longer and longer and longer. For every content type we add, for every module we add, and for every view we build. People management in Drupal is about what people can do. Next, we will add a new role, give it some permissions, and test it out. Let's click Roles. Let's add a new role here called Summer Intern. Drupal will give it a machine name as always. Click Save. Now, we have a new role, Summer Intern, that doesn't have any permissions yet. I like to move my roles in the order of ability or permissions. It just helps me to see the roles in a logical order, who has what permissions. Let's click Save Order. Now we need to give our new role some permissions. Click on Permissions tab. We can see that this page is the overview of everybody's permissions. Let's go back for a second by clicking on Roles tab. Click on Summer Intern and select Edit Permissions. Now we just see the permissions for the Summer Intern and it's a little bit easier. Scroll down and locate the content type called Events. It's about halfway down for me. Here, let's say the summer intern can create new events, delete only their own events, and edit only their own events. What we are not going to allow the summer intern to do is delete other people's content, delete revisions, edit any other events that they have not created. We are also not going to allow them to revert back to an old version. We will give our editors those particular powers. This is a pretty limited role. Now scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save Permission. And notice again, they can't edit views, they can't edit books, they can't even post comments without somebody approving it. So, This is a very limited role. The third step is to add a person. We have set up the roles, added the permissions. Now let's add a user, and here we can give a fake email address. It just has to be in a valid format. I'll just say intern@email.com because we are not going to actually email them. In username, we'll type Sam and we'll use Sam as the password also. It is a very insecure password, but it's fine for now as this is a local machine. We need to change the status to active, and he should have the summer intern role. We can add a picture if we want to. For now, we'll turn off the personal contact form because summer intern don't need to be contacted. Lastly, click create new account. The success message tells us that our account is created for Sam and no email has been sent. So now on our user list, we can see Sam. When we set up new users like this, a very important thing to do is to test. Let's log out and log in as Sam and test. But the problem is, what happens if Sam was a real user and he decides to change his password? We can't just randomly change other people's password when they need to test their accounts. That's not ethical. There is a fantastic module at drupal.org/project/masquerade. The Masquerade module allows us to do exactly what it says. Masquerade as somebody else. We can masquerade as the summer intern to find out if we have set up their permissions correctly. I have already installed Masquerade module in my machine. Please install it in your machine also. You may refer to the tutorial adding functionalities using modules for installing new modules. For your convenience, the Masquerade module is provided in the code files link in the web page of this tutorial. Please download and install it. Once it is installed, you can see a new link Unmasquerade in the login area. To use the Masquerade, go to the People page. Click on the Edit drop-down of the user, Sam, and select Masquerade as. Notice that as soon as we masquerade as Sam, the toolbars are gone. This is because the role of the user Sam does not have permissions to use administrator toolbars. When we click on Add Content, the only thing we are able to create is an event. So far, so good. If we click on our Drupal manual and then on installing Drupal, we can't edit. There are no tabs. Same thing if we go to the forums. And once again, we can't edit. We are able to leave a comment, but it won't be automatically approved. Once again, we can click on an event, but we are not able to edit it or delete it. It looks like our permissions are right. Now go back to the administrator role by clicking on Unmasquerade link. With this, we come to the end of this tutorial. Let us summarize. In this tutorial, we have learnt about people management and adding a new user. This video is adapted from Acquia and OS Training and revised by Spoken Tutorial Project, IIT Bombay. The video at this link summarizes the Spoken Tutorial project. Please download and watch it. The Spoken Tutorial project team conducts workshops and gives certificates. For more details, please write to us. Spoken Tutorial project is funded by NMEICT, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and NVLI, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. This is Amisha Bhorkade signing off. Thanks for joining.